7 motivators that are going to keep you going, that are going to keep you driving, going to keep that passion, that feeling in you. And you have to realize, because this is all human nature, right? So the one of the main things is the first one, which is fear, right? So if you have fear in you, the fear in you, it's going to create a change in you, right? It's either going to create a change or it's going to keep you the same. So depending on what the fear is, that's a motivating factor, because a lot of people, they don't never change unless something happens in their life and it causes them to want to change, right? So the fear is what keeps them in the same place, or it motivates them for a change because they don't want the same result. So then they're in fear of staying the same. So you have to determine what your fear does for you. Does it make you want to change, or does it keep you in the same boat, right? Because you're scared of the change, right? Because people take fear different ways, but it is a driver in your life. Fear is what's going to determine your future and your future results, what you have as far as your business in your life, personal life, business life, what you do in your life. Fear is what creates that. So if you have a fear that's bad enough and you want to have a change, you're going to go full force with whatever you have to do, because that fear of staying the same is worse than the fear of change. And you want the change in your life so bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes. So the next thing, the next motivating factor is desire. So if you desire something bad enough, if you want it bad enough, if you feel it internally when you wake up and go to sleep and everything like that, that alone, that desire is going to keep you hungry. That desire for change, that desire for want, that desire for not having, or maybe wanting and having lack in your life. Do you have the desire to change? The desire is what the motivating factor is going to do for you, because desire keeps you wanting more. Because if you don't desire something, you're not going to go after it, right? So the desire has to keep you strong, keep you strong-minded, knowing where you're going in your life with the direction. If you're serious about whatever you're doing in your life and in your business, you're going to have that desire. The next thing is the path of least resistance. So a lot of people, they don't want to take the hard way out. They want to always do the easy way, right? Easy way keeps them in the same place, right? So a motivating factor for people is to want that change, and they have to do the opposite of what their brain's telling them, right? So if they don't want the change, if they don't want that resistance, they're going to stay complacent. They're going to stay in the same situation that they're in. They're not going to want to make a difference, and they're going to get used to a routine, but it's going to be a routine that runs them. They don't have any control over the routine when you don't fight back, when you don't create a routine that's against what your mind is thinking. So you have to actually have a motivating factor of creating a routine and creating a change by doing what the path of least resistance says for you. You know, so you cannot fear going against the path of least resistance and doing the thing that is the most struggle for you. So then after that, we're going to talk about the growth. Growth is another element of motivating factors. So if you're going to be motivated, you need to grow, right? So growth is one of those factors. So you have to grow by experiences. You grow throughout your life by what you experience in life. If you don't have any experiences, you're not going to create that growth for yourself. So you have to always create that growth for yourself and know exactly what you want out of life. And how you know what you want out of life and know that you could grow is by the pain that you experience in your life and the lessons that you learn in life. That's all growth. So that's going to be exactly how you grow, is by experiencing things that you have never experienced before. You got to take yourself out of your comfort zone. You got to take yourself to a whole nother level by experiencing new experiences, by knowing what you've seen in the past, knowing that you don't want it like it was in the past, knowing that you want to change. If you don't want to change, you're not going to grow, and if you don't grow, then you're going to die, right? So then after that, you need the lack of there's a lack of understanding that people have, right? So if you have a lack of understanding, people don't know everything, right? So the lack of understanding keeps people wanting to know more. Even if they might know some things, there are gaps in their life and how they feel. There's going to be a little lack of understanding there, right? So you always want to keep learning and always keep growing your mind, and that fulfills that lack of understanding, and that's going to make you stronger when you do go and seek the answers for yourself, seek the answers and seek the change within yourself that you want to see externally, right? So the next thing is to have self-motivated action. That's a motivating factor. Everybody has self-motivated action, which means they take certain actions because they want to change in their life. So the self-motivation helps them create that change that they want to have in their life. If they're not self-motivated, then they're not going to take the steps to actually go out there and do it. But everybody has a self-motivated thing about themselves, to where they want to actually be driven, and that's what causes people to create change. That's what causes people to do extreme stuff. That's what causes people to invest in themselves, invest in their skills, invest in their learning. The self-motivating factor is what keeps them wanting to learn some stuff and keep growing their mindset. The next thing is instant gratification. So a lot of people want instant gratification. They get into something, they want a result overnight. A lot of people aren't patient, but you have to be patient with this stuff because nothing happens overnight. So there's something called the law of germination. The law of germination basically means that it takes a certain amount of time for something to manifest in your life. So if you're planting a seed, if you're trying to grow a business, planting a seed for your business, it's going to take a certain amount of time, certain amount of hours of consistency. So you have to be consistent, you have to show up, you have to be there, you have to know that it's going to happen over time, but you have to let everything grow and develop and go through certain stages to be able to blossom, right? So if you're trying to grow in your business and in your life, you have to work on yourself, and then you grow internally. When you grow internally, you become higher in value. So when you become higher in value, your worth becomes more, but your internal worth has to come first. Your internal worth is what creates your external results. So your internal worth is whatever you believe it to be, but it's all in your mind. So you're worth whatever you believe you're worth, right? But you have to work on your mind to know that your worth is very, very high, and that you can't really put a price value on your worth. But you have to know that for yourself. You can't have somebody else say that for you. You have to know that for yourself. So your worth determines your wealth, right? So your worth is going to determine how much you're going to make in life, how much success you're going to have in life, because you have to believe that it's true. If you believe that it's true, you're going to have the success that you want to have in life, but you have to believe it.